Most gardeners don't realize they're unintentionally sabotaging their soil. Every year they pour money into fertilizers that promise bigger harvests, yet their plants get weaker, their soil gets harder, and the results get worse. Welcome back to Timeless Crops Haven. Today you're going to learn how to break free from synthetic fertilizers for life and build a garden that literally feeds itself. The real shocker is that you can grow healthier, more productive crops without ever buying fertilizer again. Not once. Because the greatest fertilizer on earth isn't sold in a bag. It's something you can create for free, right at home, using a system that has quietly fed human gardens for thousands of years. The moment you stop treating soil like dead dirt, everything changes. Soil is a living world. A handful contains more organisms than there are people on the entire planet. These tiny workers break down organic matter, transport nutrients, improve soil structure, and create a natural environment where plants thrive without human intervention. When you build soil, instead of feeding plants directly, you set off a chain reaction that results in stronger roots, pest-resistant leaves, richer flavors, and higher nutrient density. And you do it while spending nothing. This is the foundation of natural fertility. Once you embrace it, your garden begins to regenerate itself. Let's dive into how you can make that happen in your own space, starting today. Compost is not just broken down scraps. It is living fertilizer filled with beneficial organisms and humus that transforms struggling soil into thriving soil. The beauty of compost is that it costs nothing and works everywhere: apartments, balconies, backyards, or full homesteads. The formula is simple: 3 parts brown materials to 1 part green materials by volume. Browns include dried leaves, straw, shredded paper, and small wood chips. Greens include kitchen scraps, grass clippings, plant trimmings, and aged manure. Once you start layering them, aim to keep the moisture level around that of a wrung-out sponge. If it smells bad, you need more browns. If it doesn't heat up, you need more greens. Turn the pile every couple of weeks to introduce oxygen and help everything decompose evenly. In 3 to 6 months, your scraps transform into a dark, earthy material that smells like the forest after rain. This compost provides every nutrient your plants need in perfect balance, and your soil will only get richer each year you continue feeding it. If your space and lifestyle allow it, integrating small animals creates a complete, self-sustaining fertility cycle. Even a few hens can turn kitchen scraps into incredibly potent manure. Because it's very rich in nitrogen, you should never apply it fresh. Add it in small layers to your compost so it can break down safely over 3 to 6 months. Once finished, it becomes one of the strongest natural fertilizers for crops like tomatoes, peppers, and leafy vegetables. If hens aren't possible, rabbits are a quiet, clean alternative. And here's the best part. Rabbit manure is naturally mild, known as a cold manure, meaning you can apply it directly to the soil without composting. It delivers nutrients immediately and continues feeding soil organisms as it breaks down. Whether you choose hens, rabbits, or neither, the goal is always the same. Close the loop and stop letting nutrients leave your property. What was once waste becomes pure fertility. Green manure is, honestly, one of the most powerful techniques for gardeners who want long-term fertility without spending a dime. These are plants grown specifically to feed the soil instead of being harvested for food. When allowed to grow until just before they flower, their roots and leaves contain the highest concentration of biomass and nutrients. Legumes are especially valuable because they draw nitrogen directly from the air and store it in the soil through beneficial bacteria living on their roots. When you chop them down and lay them on the surface or, lightly incorporate them into the top few inches of soil, they release that nitrogen right where your next crop needs it. A single bed of broad beans or peas grown over winter can supply enough nitrogen for a full season of heavy-feeding vegetables. And it costs nothing. No fertilizers, no amendments, just biology doing exactly what it was designed to do. Mulch is often seen as just simple weed suppression. But in a soil-first garden, mulch is honestly one of your greatest fertility builders. Organic mulch, like straw, leaves, grass clippings, or wood chips, it slowly decomposes and becomes food for soil organisms. Plus, it protects moisture, moderates soil temperature, and even prevents rain from compacting the soil surface. A layer of 2 to 4 inches around your plants, that's really all it takes to create a perfect environment for life below the surface. Just keep the mulch slightly away from stems to avoid rot, and, let it break down naturally over the season. By fall, most of it will have disappeared as the soil absorbs it. Add another layer, and over time, watch your soil get darker, richer and deeper every year. Every plant family, it interacts with the soil a bit differently. Some pull lots of nutrients, some actually put nutrients back, and others simply maintain balance. By rotating plant families through your garden each year, you allow them to naturally replenish what the previous crop removed. So, you'll want to start with legumes to add nitrogen to the soil. After that, follow them with heavy feeders, like cabbages. Next, move to moderate feeders, such as tomatoes and peppers. Finally, finish with light feeders, like onions and carrots. By the 4th year, you return to legumes and restart the cycle, with the soil now restored and refreshed. This method, prevents depletion and builds long-term fertility without any external inputs. Over time, your garden really becomes a living system that balances itself. Natural fertility doesn't operate with the instant punch of synthetic fertilizers. What it gives instead is long-lasting, compounding fertility that grows stronger each season. Your first year sets the foundation. Your second year brings noticeable improvement. By the third, your soil becomes rich, dark, and full of life. By year 5, you'll be growing crops you never thought possible in your climate, all without spending a cent on fertilizers. The key is consistency. Feed the soil, and the soil feeds everything else. If you're ready to turn your garden into a self-sustaining ecosystem, start your compost pile today. Add mulch, explore green manure, and keep building fertility that lasts a lifetime. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Timeless Crops Haven and share this video with another gardener who deserves thriving soil. Your support helps us bring more timeless growing wisdom to the world.